Good afternoon, my Teaserking family. Sorry about that. So I'm back up today. My foot's still sore, but walkable. I haven't eaten since Friday night when I had the fucking ribs that probably caused my foot the problem. I think the barbecue sauce is just too sweet. It's too much sugar. I had a baked potato and there's bread and you're hungry and you eat it, and that's the problem. So that's why I normally cook for myself and eat myself. I just don't, you can't trust when you go out to eat. It's too much sugar. And I had ice cream before that like a fucking idiot. I'm eating like an idiot. I get what I deserve. But so now it's a 24-hour fast, and which I've done. And I'm still fasting. So it's been 36 hours. And I'm getting tired of it, but I get what I deserve. It's my own fault. When you act like an idiot, it's like betting on the Lions. When you do that, you deserve to lose, and that's what happens. I was listening to this idiot, Peter Schiff. He says there's 3 reasons for money, and they're trying to figure out why money has a value. And I'm laughing my ass off, man. You don't want to see what I wrote I called the guy blatantly an idiot. I said he's just too fucking stupid. All right. Qualities of the medium of exchange. He says there's 3, but we have 6. The Austrian Economics has 6. It's got to be portable. It's got to be scarce to keep a high value. It's got to be divisible for small exchanges. It's got to be fungible. Everything is the same and replaceable. It's got to be acceptance, and it's got to be durable. Gold is gold because of the demand for gold, right? If everybody wants it and it's up here and the demand's here, that's why gold, because it's demanded like anything else. Like I said, if Bobby comes out with his shoe, it's only worth something if people want it. If nobody wants it, he can make all he wants, sell it for a penny, nobody will buy it. So the price puts out what you think it's going to be worth, is what you think the market will bear, and then you try to do the market. But with the problem with gold is the demand's so high, but it's not at market. The government is fighting it, but they're going to lose to Russia and China. But that's what they're doing, and that's why the government, they don't want competition for this, but they have it in gold and silver. And the more people that realize it, the more it'll clearly go. So I wanted to make that comment first, and I'm gonna be very harsh and show you exactly what the fuck I did. So here's Peter Schiff. And why are banks buying up all the gold is the question. It's because it's real money and nobody wants the fiat because this is the Titanic is the answer, but he doesn't even understand that. So then so the first one I say, so I leave 3 comments. I'll let you read them first, and then I'll read them to you. So the first comment is gold paper. Gold and gold paper is paper. Gold is gold, paper is paper. He's clueless. The question was about paper. He started talking about paper being gold, like the gold certificates, right? He said this is supposed to be, you could exchange for gold, only gold certificates, but you're exchanging it for gold. It's not gold. So he's trying to say gold's gold or paper's gold. And I'm saying, no, gold is gold. That's the coins we have. Paper's paper. And then why does gold have a value? Gold has value because of demand, right? It's because of the demand gold has value. If it doesn't have demand, it wouldn't have any value, no matter what it is. But it's always has demand since the Roman times. Then he says, gold, money has 3 values. And I say, no, it's got 5 values. This guy's an idiot because he's coming across as a guy who knows what he's talking about as an economist. Gold has, or paper, money has 3 values. No, it's not portable, scarce, divisible, fungible, acceptance, and durable. It actually has 6. How the fuck does he got 3? And this guy's posing as an economy. I don't even know why he's on this this Jordan Peterson. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, that's where he is. Then we got this guy. I didn't watch it. FDIC won't save you. Of course not. We know the FDIC won't, because even if they do, they have to print the money, and the money becomes worth less and less because overabundance loses value of money. The more you have, the less it's worth. Therefore, the FDIC has to print all the money from the banks. What happens? The money, if you do get it, which you probably will, they have to. But if it's going to be worth less, so 100 grand, well, if I keep printing it, it's going to not be worth what 100 grand. Well, it's not going to buy what 100 grand can buy. So I just wanted to start there. I watched this guy, and I hate this Peter Schiff, and this is why. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but only a guy like me who's an economist who knows what he's talking about can pick him apart like I just did. Paper, he's trying to say, well, money was gold. No, gold is gold. That's it. It's gold bars and gold coins. That's gold. That's it. There's no other substitute for gold. And that's what you must understand that. Okay, so let's go to the NBA. So I picked the games yesterday. Actually, I'm not sure what I picked. The series that were tied at 1, I didn't pick. So let's see. Let's go back to Saturday. So the Heat beats the Knicks. I know somebody asked me, who do I like there? And I said, I don't know. But if whatchamacallit was playing the injured guy, that they're probably a good play, but I didn't give a pick on it. Now I would give a pick on that. The Lakers, okay. So both series I said, let's watch. They were both tied at 1. So here's what happens. Miami wins. They're up 2-1 now. Now the Knicks need to win game 4. And the Lakers win by 30 over Golden State. Hey, Nick. Like in Celtics today, way better than Philly on both sides of the ball. Yeah, let me get to them in a second. So the Lakers beat Golden State. Now, Nick, you missed the show the other day. Game 2 was just like last year. Lakers won game 1 in Golden State, and boom, lock Golden State. They win by 30, just like last year. Now here the Lakers win by 30 last night, 127-97, to go up 2-1. The next play now is Golden State back after the loss. They could go down 3-1 because they're playing game 5 at home, but I look for them to I look for them to just they don't want to go down 3-1. They know how to win. That's the difference. Yes, I locked Golden State the other night. Yeah, there you go. That's good for you, Nick. I'm happy for you. So that's what you have. So now the home teams are up 2-1. Now let's look for the series to go 2-2. So definitely Golden State. So let's go to today's game. And Nick liked the Celtics. Yeah, the Celtics, geez, they're just laying 2. They're up 2-1. Philly's got their back against the wall from one standpoint, but can they? It's like when the Detroit Lions have their back against the wall, and I laugh, going, "What? They can't do anything about it." I wouldn't bet it too strong, I know you like Boston. I would bet it's small. If it goes 2-2, then we jump on Boston next game. If it goes 3-1, Boston probably wins, but we're kind of fucked because then you got to really take Philly with their backs against the wall. Hey, Rake, refs may hand Philly the game. There's a lot of that in the NFL, and there's a lot of that with gold, so it wouldn't surprise me. It's again, they want the series to go 7, but they don't all go 7. There's only so much they can do. They can call the foul, but they can't keep calling the fouls if they're losing. Somebody gets hot, so they can't make it too obvious. But I agree with you; they certainly can. So Philly needs the game, but yes, Boston is the better team. But don't get too caught up in that, Nick, where they're the better team, but we know the better team doesn't always win, especially in the NBA playoffs. So be careful. Yeah, it's only 2, so maybe play it, but look for Philly to play their best game today. And then Denver and Phoenix. So far, I've won all the games. We had Denver at home, game 1, game 2. They win. Now Phoenix down 2-0, back against the wall at home, wins game 3 easily. Same thing now. I like Phoenix today. Again, they're down 2-1. If they lose, they go down 3-1 and have to go to Denver, and the series is over. So look for Phoenix to play a very good game, and they're only laying 2.5. Phoenix is the best play today, I'm going to say, unless there's an injury. I'm not really keeping track of the injuries too much, although we did have Jimmy Butler come back. Rake told us that he was playing, and then you can see Miami killed him. So definitely like Phoenix, definitely back against the wall, have to win or go down 3-1 and go to Denver. So they have to win it. Philly is similar. They'll go down 3-1 and then have to go to Boston. So just be careful there. And let's go to tomorrow. Is there any game? Okay, we got the Heat and the Knicks tomorrow. We got the Lakers tomorrow too. Okay, so tomorrow we load up on Golden State plus 3.5 off of a loss. Steph Curry, I'm sure LeBron had a big game, but where was he in game 2, right? So we will see. And then Miami and the Knicks. How bad are the Knicks in Miami? I know one's the 8th seed, I think Miami. So what the hell? They're the 8th seed. They must have got some guys back from injury that made them a better team now. But they're laying 4.5 Miami tomorrow. So that's, again, you got to look at the Knicks and you got to look at Golden State tomorrow. You got to bet the loser back in this. It's tied at 1. It'll probably be tied at 2. That's all you can do. So that's tomorrow's games. I haven't seen any NFL yet for week 1. I know they post that shit pretty early. No, I still got KC 38, Philly 35. Maybe they do. Week 1, 2023. Maybe they have it. No games scheduled yet for week 1, unfortunately. So we can't get that. Let's see if college has anything. College week 1. Well, we got some games. We don't have spreads. We got UMass, New Mexico State. Let's look for what we want here. Navy and Notre Dame. Here we actually have a line. We got Notre Dame laying 21.5 over Navy. Over under a 50.5. And we all know who's on Notre Dame now. Hartman's on Notre Dame from Wake Forest. So look for Notre Dame to be explosive as shit. How good their defense is, I don't know, but with Hartman, they could blow them out. There you go. So we do have a game. Let's see what else. San Jose State, USC. Here's another line. Minnesota 8 over Nebraska 46.5. I got to check the core. I think Tanner Morgan's gone from Minnesota. Maybe he isn't. He didn't get drafted. 46.5. As of last year, this would be an under, but we got to see what Nebraska's. Minnie had a very strong defense, and we got to see who they have as their quarterback, running back. So too early. I got to study that, but we are getting a few lines. Kansas plays MSRS. I don't know who that is. Here you go, Nick. Here's some revenge for you. Utah 16.5 against Florida after Florida beat them last year. Florida's got a new quarterback. Cam Rising is questionable for week 1. He hurt his knee in the Rose Bowl. He's still recovering. Hopefully he'll be back for week 1, but we don't know. If he is, this is definitely, we're going to take Utah -9. Interesting to see how Manning will do at Texas. It'll be just like Peyton and Eli, I guess. Just when I thought we were done with Manning's, here comes another one. He'll do okay, but he's a choke like Peyton. Then he won't. He'll choke in the Oklahoma games. Let's see who else. Miami 17 over Miami of Ohio. It's Miami versus Miami. 17. Now we expect Van Dyke to be the quarterback. We pray they brought in a good offensive coordinator to use Van Dyke's skills like he did 2 years ago when he put up 45 points a game and we won the over every week. Oh my God, you just love watching the Oklahoma choke every year. It's just crazy. Well, Oklahoma got killed last year because Gabriel, I don't think, played in the game. So Texas showed them, I think, or one of the quarterbacks was out. I don't remember. And it was like a 50-0 game. I think we had the over and got the win, but we'll keep up. So Gabriel's a good quarterback for Oklahoma, but the coach sucks. Their defense sucks. We'll have to see. Oh, good game. Fresno State, Purdue. Northwestern, right? Who cares? Louisiana Tech, SMU could be a lock over, depending on what Elk Tech looks like. Because I think they're a high scoring. Tennessee, Virginia. Now you don't have Hooker at Tennessee. They lost the receivers, so this will be a curious game. Although Virginia sucks anyway, but Tennessee, they're rated 6, but why? I mean, they lost Hooker. So this will be an interesting one here. I'm not all over Tennessee, maybe an over, but they got a good coach. He's an offensive coach. So keep that in mind. He will, they will score. And that's, what's his name? I can't remember, but he's a very good offensive coach. So they'll score a lot of points. UTSA, my team, but Frank Harris is no longer against Houston. This should be an over game. South Carolina and Charlotte. Is our quarterback still at Charlotte? I don't remember his name off the top. Again, was lucky to tour the Tennessee Stadium in Knoxville. Such a cool place. Can't wait to go back for the Georgia game next year when I visit my buddy. Yeah, that'll be good. I drove through Tennessee on the way to Alabama. At least it was a city. I think when I drove down, I stopped at this hotel right off the highway and watched the NFL on Sunday because I drove up on a Sunday, and so I watched the NFL game. Indy and Tennessee, I think, is what was the game. But I mean, it's a lot nicer than Alabama, to put it that way. But yeah, I don't really know where to fucking move. I mean. So I'm starting tomorrow at Harley. I was supposed to get my computer Friday, didn't come. They didn't mark it was a computer or hazardous materials. So I should get it Monday. I got a 8 o'clock with my boss to say hello. How are you? Welcome to the team. Then I don't know if I'm working or not tomorrow after that because again I don't have a computer. Although she can probably send me a ledger and stuff like that. So waiting on that, but. I'm working remote, which means I could move to Vegas. I could move to Florida, not yet Europe, but I'm hoping to do that down the road. And then I could spend some time with Jenna or Daria or Irina in Romania with the baby. So I could theoretically live there as long as I get my work done. They don't really care because it's remote. I don't have to be into the office. So I'm going to take advantage of this remote stuff and check it out. But my only thing with Vegas is all these people from LA are moving there. So now I'm like, I don't want to get infighted with LA people. I like small Vegas where I could go to Caesars and play poker and watch the football games. And it's, I don't know, it's so weird right now. They got parking at all the hotels. You got to pay for parking. What the fuck is that? You're supposed to want people into your casino to gamble, and they are missing the point. Well, we can make money if you stop making $50 blackjacks, you'd have people gambling. But when you start making $50 blackjacks, who the fuck do you think's gambling? So you don't make money gambling because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So again, they don't know the market. Nick, glad to hear you're starting tomorrow and you're doing well. Thanks, Nick. Heading out to play golf and then watch the game later. Take care. All right, have a good round. Remember to swing through the ball and make sure your grip is right. So you don't want your grip open. Keep your grip closed. And then when you get here, you rotate the club and then you won't slice it. So good luck on that. And yeah, my foot, it's too much sweets. I start eating ice cream like an idiot thinking, I'm okay. And then my foot, and then at the ribs yesterday, Friday, I get the ribs. Well, I got the chicken actually. I didn't get the ribs, but I had baked potato or fries. So I get the baked potato, and then the coleslaw I don't think is bad. Then they give you a slice of bread. But I was already a little bit off with the ice cream, so I didn't eat at all yesterday, and I haven't eaten yet today, and I probably won't eat till 4 or 5. I'm hoping to get to the hot tub, but I don't know if I can. I'm struggling walking. It's just puffy. It's less than it is. Yesterday, I couldn't even get up. It was pain just to go to the bathroom and get a tea. Now I can pretty much stand up okay, but it's stiff, so I can walk a little bit. But I want to get out. I can't stand being in here. But it looks like the sun's trying to come out. It was a rainy morning, so I'd like to at least limp to the car, and I really need some, get some dinner, get one of those rotisserie chickens or something, but I'll try to do that. But anyway, thanks, Nick. Have a good day. I'm doing NBA pretty much every day, and pretty much just we're betting the loser back, the back's against the wall, and just going from there. That's about all I can do for now. And then we wait for our spot. Teams down 3-1. Now we bet on them. They need it. That's why we laid away from the games yesterday was 1-1. And now we have Golden State and New York down. So they will play better. It doesn't mean they're necessarily going to win. But I like Steph Curry when they're down in a series and they're the dog, they usually come on strong. So I wouldn't be surprised if they win today. But we'll see. Let's see. Buffalo plays back to college football. Buffalo, Wisconsin, New Mexico, A&M. They got Notre Dame again. How many games is Notre Dame going to play? Eastern Kentucky, Cincinnati, Middle Tennessee, and Alabama. Oh, Alabama's ranked 5th. Yeah, they don't have a quarterback, and half their players suck anyway. So we will see. Let's see. Arkansas State and Oklahoma, that's an over if there ever was one. Toledo and Illinois. NC State and UConn. Texas Tech, Wyoming, interesting matchup. Bowling Green and Liberty. Don't know, the MAC was so hard last year. Utah State and Iowa, wow. Iowa, who can't score, who plays very low-scoring games against Utah State. Should be a low scorer. Army against UL Monroe. We got to love the Army already. There we go. Go Army, beat Navy. Georgia, the number 1 ranked team, plays TMRT. I have no idea. Georgia will be laying 50 if they're on the board. They got a really good quarterback who they recruited, so look for Georgia to not slip. They got Brock Bowers, the best tight end in pro football, playing college football, and they got talented running backs, talented receivers, plethora of defense. It doesn't matter. They get really fast secondary guys and really strong linemen and they blitz the passer, so they just can easily replace it. North Carolina 1.5 over South Carolina, 70.5 over under. Jesus Christ, what's going on there? Wow. I guess somebody is explosive. Is North Carolina still explosive? I don't know. They didn't show it when they needed it in a lot of the games last year. Ohio State at Indiana. I put Ohio State 28-point favorites, my guess. BC and Northern Illinois. Ball State and Kentucky. Let's see, Kentucky. Well, Levis was hurt a lot anyway, so it's not really too much of a new quarterback. South Florida, Western Kentucky, and Virginia Tech, Old Dominion. And we got Oak State against Central Arkansas. We got another line. Penn State, 17 over West Virginia, over under 56.5. Probably an over, it looks like. I don't know. Penn State lost their quarterback. I see he got drafted. And West Virginia, I don't know. I have to figure them out. Michigan's number 3, really, against East Carolina. So the question is the running back still there, and is he healthy? East Carolina, they're a pretty explosive team. Michigan will probably just wear them down, but they've been running a lot lately and playing defense. So this line will be 24 probably. Michigan State, Central Michigan. Michigan State's got a lot of problems. A lot of their players transferred. I don't think anybody's, I don't know about Central, but we'll see. Texas State and Baylor. We'll see how Baylor looks this year. Texas State. Texas and Rice, quoting Nick, we got Manning Jr. against Rice. Texas always beats Rice. I remember that since I was a kid. Texas boils Rice when I'd get those little flyers. So Texas, again, keeps boiling Rice. We'll have to see, but they should blow them out. Washington, number 8 against Boise State. That'll be a good game. Excuse me. Washington, good coach, good quarterback. Look for them to be explosive. My Iowa State playing Northern Iowa. No line, but let's see what Iowa State looks like. Auburn and UMass. UMass is playing another game. How many games can they play? It's going to be a busy day for them playing 2 games. Temple and Akron. We'll have to see what the Macs look like. USC, Nevada. So USC played that first week, the August week, and now they're playing again. Nevada. They should kill them. Nevada was pretty bad last year. Tulane, South Alabama. Tulane's rated 9. I don't see that. They were good last year, but very hard for them to consistently be good against South Alabama, who was pretty good. South Alabama can get the W here. Oregon against Portland. App State against Gardner. North Texas and Cal, not much. James Madison against Buck. I could say something from Kill Bill, but I won't. He's Buck, and he likes to. You fill it in. UCLA, Coastal Carolina. I don't know if our quarterback, McCall, is still on Coastal Carolina. I think he switched. UCLA, let's see. I'm not worried about UCLA. They'll replace Thompson Robinson, whoever they got, and they'll go from there. But I like UCLA. It's the system. It's the coach. They'll be good. I'm not worried about them. Troy against Stephen F. Austin. TCU 21.5 over Colorado. Now I know they lost the quarterback. Dutton, I think Dutton went to he actually got drafted. They're playing the primetimers. So look at all the action on Dion. Like all of a sudden he's the Pied Piper here. TCU 21.5. So TCU, very good coach, Sonny Dykes, very explosive, like the Washington coach, like the Tennessee coach. They're going to be big offense against Colorado. Now you got Primetime, and you got what? Primetime Junior is the quarterback. These little prime timers, but this isn't Jacksonville State. This is Colorado. I think TCU is going to kill them. Washington State, Colorado State should be an under. San Diego State, no. Air Force, no. Vegas, no. Oregon State gets San Jose State. Now, San Jose State played USC the first week. So this is already their second week. Oregon State has Uglia Buglia, the Clemson quarterback. Poor Oregon State. They've had a really good defense last year, so this should be a low-scoring game. Here's another one. LSU against Florida State. Bobby, we got LSU on the docket. Laying 1.5 to Florida State. Last year they played, and it went down. Florida State had them killed, and LSU came back and lost by 1. I think they missed an extra point or something. So Florida State won like 20-19 or 24-23 or something. Now we've got a Camping World kickoff. So again, it's a neutral site. LSU minus 1.5. Although Boutte is gone, and now we've got the quarterback Daniels, I guess, who's still. I don't know. They were playing better at the end of the year against Florida State, who's very good. This is probably a tease the dog game. Take out Florida State in 7.5. Maybe we go over 58. And now we've got the last game, Clemson and Duke. It doesn't show. I guess the game's at Duke. It is a conference game. Clemson's laying 10.5 over under a 58.5. I'm not sure who the good Clemson quarterback is from the bad one, because I thought we were betting the good one in the bowl game, and he wasn't the good one. So apparently the guy sucked. Duke was decent, good quarterback last year, 58.5. I got to see Clemson's quarterback. Duke, I know, has a good quarterback. I think Duke's 16.5 is probably pretty good. Over under, I'm not sure on. So we do have college football, some lines, most of the games. I can start doing that. So, oh joy, the fun's beginning. So I'll have to set up 2023. Yeah, Notre Dame plays 10s. Whoever 10s is. Tennessee something, I don't know. It's some Division 2. It's not Tennessee. They play Virginia. Okay. So the first game kicking off is on is 8:26 UMass, New Mexico State. And I'll tell you, the way New Mexico State finished with that quarterback, I love New Mexico State here. That quarterback, he was like a running type of quarterback, but he could throw. So it's like Richardson, but he could throw, and they scored a lot. UMass sucks. Then we got Hawaii, Vandy, and Florida National, El Tech, and Navy, Notre Dame. How many Notre Dames? They're playing 17 different games this week. So Notre Dame, Navy on the 26th, and I think that's it. Ohio, San Diego State. It's a whole fucking lineup. San Jose State, USC. Shit, we got like 8 or 9 games on the 26th. Let's see how good San Jose State is. We know USC. Notre Dame, Navy. We got to check that out. Notre Dame, Hartman. Keep that in mind. Hawaii, Vanderbilt. Well, Vanderbilt will probably kill them. And New Mexico State, if their quarterback's there, and I'll check that out. Look out. They'll kill them. The spread will be 6, and they'll win by 30. Gotta love that. All right, so that's scores and odds. Let's see, what is gold doing? Gold price today. Right now it's 2016, but it's still Fridays. Silver 25.66. So we're waiting for silver. Once it hits 26.32 and closes and stays there, it goes to 35. So it's getting very, very close to where it is. Yeah, May 5th. So I was looking at some new gold. I was looking on eBay. I spotted some new stuff for Bobby. Actually, I should go to the silver. Like here's a UK one. This is a sold auction, 21.54. So that's the problem. When you go to the store, he's not going to give you the 21.54. So go to eBay for 21.54. Jesus Christ. What the hell's up with this? Why is this 1 ounce gold 27.49? That's way high. Is it a rare date, 1997 maybe? Let's see. The quarter eagle, 625, gold eagle, US. Now, these proofs seem to be worth more if you get one, but you got to pay more for it. So here's a proof, Buffalo proof for $32.95. But again, you're paying a lot more for it. So I don't know. Let's see. Here's a Cougaran 2140. So it's bullshit. They want to give you 92% if you take the Cougaran back to the coin store. It gets just the same as what everybody else is, 2140, a few dollars less than the 2150. And this is May 6th, and these are sales. Half ounce gold, US 1201. I've been paying $1,000 for those. Here's a cute one. It's a gold panda. I'm sure they have it in silver, Bobby. 700. Oh, wait, I'm not. See, here I don't get it. This guy wants to put out a quarter ounce that sells at 600. This is what I mean by over market. He wants to sell it for $1,200 a quarter ounce that only goes for $650. How does he think he's going to get $12.49? So he's the rib guy. The ribs are up here and everybody's here. Well, he's trying to sell a quarter ounce that sells for 600 for 1,200. This is what I mean by market. He can't. Nobody's going to pay him that. You can get the fucking half ounce for that. So what the fuck is this guy doing? A quarter ounce for $12.49, and I'm sure he didn't get it. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. I love when I filter on 1 ounce and I get all these strange different ones. Then I start getting not 1 ounce, half ounce, quarter ounce. I'm like, no, 1 ounce is what I'm searching. Yeah, let's see. Okay, here we go. So here's a quarter ounce. The guy wanted 700 and couldn't get it because it's about 625, 630. So again, he's over market, and that's what happens when you're over market. You don't get it. All right, here's a 1/10 Philharmonic 237. I'm seeing the US about 270, but I don't, not bad. All right, here's a half ounce. Oh, it's graded. So here's a 1/10 of an ounce US. It's 293. So the other one was 220. This is 293. But as we know in these auctions, they're all over the place. there's no consistent price. So you get 293 here. If me and you put ours on auction, not necessarily get 293. We might get 310. We might get 270. We don't know. That's the thing with the auctions. You're not really sure what you're getting. Let's see. There's a neat one, an Australian 1/10 of an ounce, 250. A nice, kind of cute kangaroo. So if you want like these, then come on eBay and you'll pay, but you can get them that way. So here's another 1/10 of an ounce, and you can see it's 295. The other one got 293. So now we're getting, with more information, we're figuring it's the $290 for the 1/10, and I've been paying 220. So I'm pretty happy right now. Here's one for 315. Here's one for 313. All right, so here's a 1 ounce. This is dated the 6th. Today's the 7th. So this is yesterday. 2165 for the Eagle. This is the 1 ounce Eagle. So you can see 2160, 2150 was for what the Cougaran, and then the Philharmonic was like right in the 2140 range. So they're all there. And then here's another one, got 2162. So now we have a pretty good target. And I think I can buy it at the store for like 2120. It's like, I think he's 1 1/4 over, I think. So it was 2050, and I think he wanted 2175, something like that. So it'll be a little lower that. But there you go, 2162. So you sell it here at 2162. And let's see, I've already been on day 3. Boom. So I'm on page 4, and you can still, I'm still on May 6th, even though I'm on the 4th page of this. Here's a 1/4 ounce China for 705. The Americans was right around 690, but they like the cute little panda, so they get a little bit more. All right, here's another Eagle, 2157, 2160. That's what you figure you're going to get, 2157. Half ounce Cougaran, 1200. Half ounce US was, I think, a little closer to 13. And let's see. Mercury dime. I've never seen. Have anybody seen this? A gold Mercury dime. This is gold. Fuck. 2016 Mercury Centennial Gold Dime, 1/10 ounce. Oh, it's a 1/10 of an ounce. Okay, so 455. So it's just like a 1/10 of an ounce gold, which would be 300. So it got a little bit more with COA. So it's like a special. It's like Highland Mint football ones that I have. And we'll do one more page. There's a Great Britain gold for 571. There's another Mercury dime, 455. Now here's a half ounce Philharmonic, 1137. And 1/10 of an ounce Maple Leaf, 257. Here's a half ounce Philharmonic, 1093. That's sold today. Huh? And then the Buffalo, why pay more for the Buffalo? 2175. The Eagle was 2165. No real difference. So I spent $50 more on the Buffalo. I don't understand it. 2175, 2174. So that's just bullshit to pay more for it. So here's a 1/4 ounce US, 674. The Panda was 705 on one auction. We don't see that many Pandas. A lot of gold never gets out of China, so it is surprising. Okay, so that's your gold. So we have an idea. Now let's go to silver. A lot of unique coins for you, Bobby. Silver. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't like when they're graded because we don't get them graded. So this is a Canadian. All right, so this is a silver maple leaf, $35. And it's the actual money one, a $5 coin. Let's see. Here's Australian. Those look pretty cool. So two of them. So they're basically $30 a piece. So you get them for 60. So go to Australia, Bobby. You can get some neat ones there. Here's our $1, 31.17. I don't know why it's so cheap when silver is $30. No, 20. Oh, it's 25. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and I just paid $30 for mine. So that's about right. Great Britain, $30. So here's a silver Panda, and it's going for $73. How does this get out of China? Oh, this is a proof. Okay, that's why. Anytime you see a difference in price, you got to figure out why. Well, it's a proof versus a regular one. Let's see. Here's another US, $31. So you can see it's over spot. The dawn of a new millennium. Interesting. Yeah. This is a Somali republic. It's a dinosaur. Like, what the fuck? And it's 31. Somalia. Who knew? US dollar 30. Then you got the graded ones. $1986 must be a big year. So if you look at the difference in price, the one above it is a MS69 graded Eagle, Silver Eagle, $52. And here's the 1986, same grade, gets 90. So I'm assuming that year, 1986, I think was the first year, has meaning and value to it. So now it's kind of a collectible, but it's so if you get an option in a coin store and you can give you a 1986 or you see it on here and you get a choice, pick it up because it's clearly more than the other ones. Here's another one for 90. Then here's a 2016. I got 50. So yeah, clearly 1986 is there. Here you go, Bobby. This is a great white shark silver coin for $46. Kind of cool coin, isn't it? It's Australian, and it's 2021. Oh, that's certainly clever. If you want to, spice up your silver. Here's a roll of 20. Roll of 20 going for $7.90. That would be 35. 30. It's 40. It's $40 a coin now. That's telling us something because this sold today, May 7th. The guy still got it for 35. 35 times 20 is 700. This is 40 times 20 is 800, so 790. And then here's one for 778. So you can see where it's headed. It's going to $40 for the 1 ounce silver. That's a $1. That's an actual money, not the bullion. All right, let's see. So here's a proof silver, $74 for the proof. So Again, the proofs are more, but you're going to pay more. Let's see. See, now here it sold for $740. So all of a sudden it went from $740 to $790 for the roll of 20 American Eagle dollars. So something funny's going on. Here's a neat one. James Bond for $53. Are you into James Bond, Bobby? $53 for the James Bond silver ounce. As long as it's an ounce of silver, it sells. Here's an eagle. Now here, this eagle's getting 39. It's weird. Some of them are getting 31, 32. This one's getting 39. So that's what I'm saying. All the auctions are different. This was a bid. So it got bid up to 39. See, 18 bids. In an auction, if you get the bids, if it gets going, then you're going to get more money because the guy's going to want it, right? Then it becomes, I want it, you want it, and we keep bidding. If it's a buy it now, then maybe you put a buy it now and at 40 or best offer at 40, and then you go from there where it's the best offer. Then they can say, you know what, I'll give you 35. You put it for 40, I'll offer you 35, and then you can take it that way. So there's 3 ways to do these auctions. You can buy it now at best offer or do an actual auction, probably with you probably don't need a minimum on it. On something like this, it's going to get in the 30s. Let's see. This 20 ounce is getting 760. Now here's Australian. This is kind of a pretty coin. What the fuck is it? Oh, you're the dragon, huh? So you dragon people, $34 for an Australian dragon, 1 ounce silver. So they do a lot of shit with the silver that they probably don't do as much with the gold. There's the 1 ounce getting $31. This guy's making a point to say, I'm selling it in the airtight. Whatever. I mean, I'm going to sell all mine. My silver, I won't sell in an airtight. My gold, I will. But my silver, I'll probably just sell them individually. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take 10 silver and buy gold with it. So what's going to happen, as gold goes up, silver goes up. It has to. And then as gold, let's say gold hits 20,000, silver has to go to 10 to 1. And it's not even close. Like right now, it should be $200 an ounce, and they are keeping it down. I don't know what they have against silver, but they're keeping it down. I assume so the guys can make batteries and solar panels and all that shit. Computers, phones, they need the silver for. So I assume that's why they're keeping the price down. But what will eventually happen is if gold hits, so right now silver should be 200. And then the thought is I'm going to take 10 ounces of silver to buy my ounce of gold. So if I bought 10 ounces of silver at, I just spent $30. So I spent $300. But if I can get an ounce of gold that, let's say, is, even if it's $2,000, I can trade in my 10 and say, give me an ounce of gold, because then it goes back to its normal 10 to 1 ratio. I just turned in $300 into, $2,000 if it was there. But what'll happen is gold goes, let's say, to 20 grand. Silver will then go to 2 grand. It should go to 10. So if it goes to 40,000, it'll go to 400 or 4,000. And then you take the 10 for 4,000 is equal 1 for 40,000. So you'll start buying gold with all the silver. So that's why I got 500 ounces, and it's like, I don't even know what to do with it all, but I might need all of it. But then you have where it becomes, gets on par of the 10 to 1. And then you're able to take 10, give me the ounce of gold. And you made a killing because before we're buying it at 25 an ounce. So you bought 10 is 250, and you're going to turn it around and get a $40,000 ounce of gold for your $250. Please tell me where you can get a return with no risk like that, because you can't do it in Microsoft or Apple stock. I guarantee it. All right, let's see. Lord of the Ring half-ounce coin. Who's on it? Frodo? I don't know. It's a Lord of the Ring poster with a gold silver coin. And what the fuck? All right. Here's a Canadian 1 ounce maple leaf. That's $35. And here's another one that shows the maple leafs, $35. You can see they're $1 difference. 1 ounce, one's a 2022, one's a 2016. And then here's another two, and they got 36 and 37. And look at the date, May 7th. So this is today's action. I think you're going to see silver jumping to 35 pretty soon based on what's happening here. Well, somebody's selling all his Canadian silver. What the fuck is this? This is a Barbados silver octopus. Look what it's getting, $46 for a fucking Barbados 1 ounce silver octopus. Amazing. There's a spider. There you go, Spider-Man. I was just watching. This is from Australia, 2015 funnel web spider, 1 troy ounce, getting $50. So you don't have to buy the American is the point of the story here. This is kind of a neat one. But you don't see there's a lot of American Eagles on here. Nobody wants to sell them now. Here's a cool one, Perth Mint, a silver goat. Looks kind of cool, 2005. And it's getting a whopping $46. Like, fuck me. Now, here's the difference. This is the mother, the MS-70. This is the PSA 10 of coins. And look what he's fucking getting, $160 for a 1 ounce silver, but it's an MS-70. Jesus Christ. Vienna Philibert silver coins. There's a 2001. Oh, it's a holographic. What the fuck's a holographic coin? I've seen holographic cards, but I've never seen a holographic coin. $48. Anyway, that's what we've got in the coins. So it shows you that an ounce of silver is an ounce of silver. Pretty much, it doesn't matter what country you're buying the silver. They're pretty close in gold. They're all, you can have a Krugerrand, you could have the Maple Leaf, you can have the Philharmonic, the Eagle, the Buffalo. They're all about $21.50, right around there within $5 or $10. As this gets moving, as it really goes, you're going to see a much higher figure. They should be close. Now, what the coin store has to think about is I can walk in saying, I can sell this on eBay for $21.50, and you're only going to give me $2,000. So either give me the $21.50 I can get on eBay, or I'll go sell it on eBay, and then you can't mark it up and sell it. So we have to see what they want to do with it. I don't know why they think they can buy it back for spot, and that gets back to when you buy from a seller, when you sell to a seller, you're not going to get nearly the amount of money as you can get selling to a buyer, like the sports card show. I would almost go to a sports card show and bring my silver and some gold and see if I can get it there. This would be curious. Although you'd have to be careful because then they know you got gold. You might not make it back to the car. But with that said, then you could at least sell to a buyer. Like if I went to a sports card show and the guy had gold, and I know what my coin store is selling it for. Let's say it's an eagle, and he's selling it for what 20, 30, 21.50. Let's say. So let's say he's selling it for 21. I'm at a card show and he's got coins. If he's selling it for spot, I don't think he would, but let's say he's only $50 over, then I could see buying it from him versus that. But he probably isn't. Well, maybe those guys do take the credit cards. So maybe you can buy it from there with the credit cards or debit cards. But, you're not going to get a deal selling it to him. But maybe you can buy it a little bit cheaper than at the coin store. So there's always that. There's always, you could be a dealer, set up your gold. Now, if gold's 20,000 an ounce, I don't think anybody's going to have a 20,000 in cash on them. If we even, that depends if this is still available. It might be gone. And once that's gone, we got to see what the new currency is. These people are wrong. They think there's going to be a barter system, and they're not. It's not. So they're buying junk silver. Okay, so I'm watching another show, and they're talking about junk silver, mercury dimes, half dollars and quarters from 1964. They're calling it junk because the coin's still silver. In 1965, they said no more silver coins. So they took all the silver out of the coin. So what you have is with that said, you now have, they're calling it junk. They think they're going to need like a mercury dime to barter for, McDonald's or something. I'll give you mercury. Like they think there won't be money. They think this will go out. Even that they're talking about it is scary enough. But they think this is going out, which we know it is, but they're going to replace it. That's why it's here in the first place. It has no value, but they got to replace it, right? So they're going to replace it with a new currency, probably not backed by gold because we don't have any gold. But that's what we'll use. So you don't need the junk silver as they're saying, well, we'll have to barter a mercury dime for McDonald's or go to the grocery store and I want to get meat and soup and chicken and all that. So I'll have to barter from there. And you're like, no, that's not at all what's going to happen. They'll have new currency. This is a medium of exchange. This is so you can buy the food and the groceries and pay your bills. They have to. So what are they going to do? All right. So they said, oh, your credit cards aren't going to go to zero. How are you going to pay them? I'm going to barter silver to pay my creded card. Well, you owe $1,000, so you can either pay an ounce of silver. How am I going to give them an ounce of silver? I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. There won't be a barter system. I mean, there kind of indirectly is. I could sell you you could give me 3 ounces of silver, and I'll give you my weekly football picks that are worth $125. So I would do that for 3 ounces of silver. Okay. You could do that, and that's barter. But when you're giving me cash, you're bartering. You're giving me cash, and I'm giving you picks. I then take your cash and buy gold and silver with it. So that's why I would take gold and silver. I would not take Bitcoin. So I have no way of getting it and no way of knowing the value, and no, I don't want it. And then you have so really what we're doing now is we're bartering this paper as opposed to this paper, Kleenex. We're bartering this for food, and they're taking it because they have to, because the government says you must take this piece of crap paper when people come to the Kroger's for food. You must take it. Now, we might use a debit or credit card, but it's still this. At the end of the day, we're paying with this. It's just on a card for convenience. So it's less handling of it. Doesn't mean that we're not using that paper. And that's what's happening. So I don't know when they stop using the dollar, how it's going to go to barter. So this whole thing of buying these mercury dimes for barter, is a bunch of bullshit. Whoever's saying that, don't listen to that, please. That can never happen. You'll never get barter. First of all, what happens to people who don't have gold and silver? What happens if you don't have money? Like seriously, if the money goes away, they have to replace it. So there should be a new currency, a new money out there. There'll be something new, not backed by gold, which won't last until it is backed by gold. Now, maybe people won't take it. Even this digital central bank digital currency bullshit, which will never happen. But let's say that happens in England. How are you going to get the money? And then what do you do with this money? Do you change this money for that? And then they're going to limit. You can only have so much central bank money. Well, I want to go on a trip and visit my girlfriend. Well, you can. It's too expensive. What do you mean I can't? This is not a world of I can't and I can't. If I can afford it, I'm going. If I can't afford it, I'm not. And then you'll barter the gold and the silver. But we're going to do that anyway. I'm going to give an ounce of gold for a house, an ounce of gold for a Mercedes. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to barter it. Maybe I have to get whatever this currency is, but who really is going to want it? Once they understand the wool's been pulled over their eyes and this is nothing, this is what's left of your dollar, and they realize it's nothing, and then they're going to try to come out with a new one without backing by gold. So the central bank digital currency that's not backed by gold is not going to, nobody will take it. Because it's the same story. Oh, it's not backed by anything. Well, then it's worthless. Why would I don't want it. So buy as much gold and silver as you can because of that fact, right? However, I don't see it. I don't see where you're going to need. You're not going to the grocery store and giving them a mercury dime for a gallon of milk. How are you going to value them? How's the grocery store going to sell it? Well, this will be one mercury dime for the milk. This will be a Kennedy $50 for ice cream. I mean, they're not. They can't. There's no way in hell they can mark that as the price, because how are they going to buy it? So they're going to go to the dairy and say, "Give me the milk and the ice cream." And okay, how much do I owe you? Well, you owe us 5 mercury dimes and 5 Kennedy $50. I mean, it's absurd. There's no way. And then you're going to need the money. You're going to need something to transfer it. So you got a quarter ounce of gold worth $10,000 or worth something, right? You're going to need to be able to cash it in for something, because you're not going to deal with $10,000 because nobody will know what the fuck that is. And nobody will know what a quarter ounce is. What are they going to sell? So a house will cost an ounce of gold. A Mercedes will cost a half ounce of gold. A Camry might cost 2/4 on a half ounce, or maybe 10 silver dollars, silver ounces, 10 ounces of silver. That's where we're headed. And that's why it's a mess, because these fuckers have no idea. It takes a Austrian to understand it, and you don't have Austrians, you got Keynesians. And they're still going to deny anything, and they're still going to play the game. Well, we're going to, we'll just keep printing. And we'll just keep printing, and we'll just keep printing. So it'll be worthless. It goes worthless when nobody wants it. Right now, it's worthless in Europe, because I know in the Spain, it cost me 366 for 300 euros. So that's what they think of the dollar. So it's eventually nobody's going to want it. And you can see all the countries getting out of it. And you can't just say to yourself, well, it's always been there, it's always going to be there. It's the dollar, but we don't even know what inflation is. Its price is going up. So it's not the dollar. The dollar's fine. No, the dollar lost all its value. So what's the price? Who knows? Because you don't have enough dollars to do it. I don't know what Turkey just had massive inflation. So what did they do? Did they come out with a new dollar or what? That's the whole key is how are they going to do this? And we will see. But that's the problem. Um, once nobody wants it, it's all over. So right now, people are just still with the dollar. You can go buy gas and food and pay your bills, and they're still taking the dollar for some reason. And once they start knowing that it's worthless, the game's over. When that is, Howard, I don't know. Soon, very soon, because the rest of the world's saying we don't want it. It's not worth anything. What did Putin say? It was like a candy wrapper. It was like a Snickers wrapper. He knows it's not worth anything. The Chinese know it ain't worth anything. So you have to be very careful there that it just has no value, and they just keep printing it. It's probably had no value for years, but people, it's sort of like Madoff, right? So Madoff, there's something funny going on because he keeps giving you 20% return every month, but you don't know what it is, and you don't care because I remember the one daughter asked her father, and she said, "How are we making this money?" And he said, "Shh, don't tell, don't ask. Don't know, don't ask. Just we keep making it fine." And then eventually it blows up. And I think that's what's happening here. People know it's not worth anything, but the Bill Gates and the Zuckerbergs and the rich guys don't know, don't care, don't say anything. Fine, I can keep getting this money, and I can keep buying things with it. So shh, don't say anything that it's worthless, because they're getting the benefit of having all this money and being able to use it, even though it has no value. And so they're finally like somehow discovering the inflation, which I'm kind of strange about. Is they've had this for years, inflation, but they've never really made a point of it. All of a sudden they're actually declaring, oh, there's inflation. I guarantee you 5 years ago we had 10% inflation. So what's happened? This is where the Biden and the Chinese are coming out and saying, hey, no, this is the inflation. Now we're going to say it, because since we're run by China and they want the U.S. destroyed. But I don't know that they do as much, because we buy all their goods. They're fucked without us, right? Who are they going to sell to? So, yeah, they don't want dollars, but they need to sell their products that they make, because without that, they're broke. China's already a broke country. So when you hear about the yuan, it's broke. The big thing with China and Russia is the gold. Aha, that's where they have money, not in their dollars. So you don't want yuan, you don't want rubles, you want the gold. You always want the gold. So to answer Jordan Peterson's question, why does gold have value? Because it's demanded. There's a demand for it. There's a demand. Why is this $80? Right? Why? There's a demand for it. People like it. People want it. So therefore, they will pay $80. It's what people will pay. That's the market. Why does gold have a value? Why do people want gold? Because the market is for gold. Because at the end of the day, you understand that it's worth something. And it's always, since the Romans, worth something. Why is it worth something? It's pretty. It's indestructible. It's basically, it's pretty, right? I mean, even the Egyptians loved it. Look at the pyramids in the tombs. There's gold. So basically, what happens is you create this gold coin, and everybody goes, "Wow, I love it." She's the hot girl. She's the 21-year-old hot girl at the bar before she turns into the 60-year-old fat ugly girl, right? So she's the 20-year-old. Everybody wants her. Everybody wants gold. And she's always the 20-year-old because she can't age. You can't destroy it. You cannot destroy gold. It is indestructible. So you have something that you can't, even if you burn it, it melts and it hardens back up. So you can't get it, but everybody loves it, and there's huge demand for it. And even if the U.S. is trying to keep the price down to say, oh, gold's no good, boo, 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 It almost sounds like they're fixing a football game, and all the sports books on the radio and TV are saying, "Oh, you don't want Kansas City. No, no, no. Take Pittsburgh. Oh, Pittsburgh's going to win." And then Kansas City, of course, wins, and that's them with the gold. They're going, "Oh, no, no, you don't want gold. It's got no value. It's an old thing. It's not like Bitcoin. It's digital, you know." And that's really, but at the end of the day, gold's got a value because it's demanded. People want it, and people give it a value. The value is undervalued because as much as they're trying to buy it and get the value up, because everybody wants it, JP Morgan's sitting there going, "No, we got to keep it down. We got to keep it down." And why does that's why? So why does the Mickey Mantle card go for $1 million? Why does the Jordan rookie or the Brady rookie or the Montana rookie? Why do they go for all this value? Because there's demand for it. Joe Montana gets $100,000 as rookie card PSA 10, granted. Why? Because there's probably 10 PSA 10s in existence, and it gets $100,000 because it's Joe Montana. And when you run an auction, that's what you get. If you ran a free auction for gold, I guarantee you it'd be north of 30,000 easily. You put out a 1 ounce gold eagle in a fair auction, blinded by COMEX, saying forget COMEX. There's no such thing as COMEX. What is it? It'd be 30,000 at least. That's what I keep trying to ascertain to everybody. That's the real physical price. If you put an eBay auction, not the eBay auctions I just read you, where they're looking at COMEX being 2,000, and notice how they're 2,150 for the Eagles. Well, wait a minute. When COMEX was 1,700, they were going for 1,750. Now COMEX is 2,050. They're going for 2,150. So they're following COMEX, but that's not the real price. And that's what I keep warning everybody about, that you're about to get this huge, huge rocket lift on the gold. You add a zero to it. So 2050 is going to be 20,500 on its way to 50,000 and probably a lot higher. Eventually, when this goes away, then they'll have to use, well, they're not going to use gold per se, but gold will be used much more. Then everybody will run back to it, right? All the money, all the currencies will go out. The pound, the euro, the yen, the yuan, the ruble, and the dollar all go to zero. Where do they go to? They got to run to gold. And that's really the key to it. So keep that in mind, but it will not be a barter. They will have to come out with something new. That's why this is there. They used to do tulips in Holland. I mentioned before. Why tulips? They're not, because that if you had 10 tulips, you could buy your food. And you'd plant tulips and they'd pay for them, and then they go buy their goods. That's what was demanded in Holland, tulips. And so eventually they couldn't produce it and they had to go to currency. There's always something as a medium of exchange. You don't go to barter system from here. How could you possibly barter? What are you going to barter? You can't barter gold and silver because most of the 350 million people in the U.S., us and 20 more people have gold and silver. How are you going to barter it? So what is the average guy who doesn't have gold or silver? How does he get food? Oh, he'll just starve. That's why you need this, because he's working, and there's no way. So you work at General Motors as an engineer, and you're making $120,000, and all of a sudden this goes away. Boom, it's crashed. It's zero. So does he still work at General Motors? And then what do they pay him? How does he eat? How does he feed his family? How does he pay rent? How does he pay your mortgage? How does he pay his car? How does he put gas in the tank? How does he buy things if there isn't a medium of exchange, right? What are they going to pay him? They don't even know what to pay him. And don't act like GM's got gold and silver sitting around going, okay, we'll pay you, let's see, you make 125 a year, so we'll pay you, 10 ounces of gold. And how about that? That'll be worth $120,000. Okay, then what does he do with it? How does he take the gold and go to the grocery store and feed his family and pay his rent? See, That's why you need the medium of exchange. That's why you cannot. First of all, GM doesn't have that much gold and silver, and Ford and Mercedes and all these companies. There ain't that much gold and silver going around that they're going to be able to pay you. However, they still need to be in business. They still need to make cars or pots and pans or whatever the company's making. They still need to make it. So therefore, you can't possibly have a barter system. It's impossible. What are you going to barter, right? So me and you will be okay. I'll take my ounce of silver and go buy food. How am I going to pay rent? Are they going to take the rent? How am I even going to pay? How do I pay a long distance? Am I going to mail silver in the mail? Going, here's my utility bill. So that's why that cannot work. That's why there's a medium of exchange in the first place, is so you can do all this, right? CBDC, if it ain't backed by anything, it's worthless. But again, you still need something. You need a way to get paid, and you need a way to pay your bills, be it food, rent, clothing. So how do I do it? And then the store needs a way to collect the money. Otherwise, we're going to forget chaos. It'll be blown up because you won't have an economy. You won't have any businesses. You can't survive without. You're back to the Stone Age. We'll be the Flintstones. We'll go and we'll kill dinosaurs for food. I mean, that's what we'd be down to if we went to barter system, because the barter you're going to use is gold and silver. This is gone, right? So now I'm going to take out my mantle cards and I'll barter for what? I mean, it doesn't make sense. You need the medium of the exchange. That's what this is. This is the exchange. And as I said, it's got to be portable. So a little bit does a lot of work. It's got to be scarce, so it carries a high value. It's got to be divisible for small exchanges, grocery store and restaurant. It has to be fungible. Everything is the same. That's where you're getting caught. So we're going to use gold and silver, but whatever everybody else is going to use. Toilet paper, the whiskey, their cell phone, the pens. I'm going to use a pen to get food. So it's got to be divisible for small exchanges and fungible. Everything is the same and replaceable. That's where they're caught. Acceptance, that's the other thing, and durable. So what are you going to make that's got all those characteristics of a medium of exchange? And this is what you come out with. This is the best medium of exchange. Now, the fact is you want this backed by gold, so it holds its value, because number two, scarce must be a high value. Overabundance loses value. That's why it's got to be backed by gold. You can't just print it to nothing, which is what they've done. Now, as people start waking up, realizing it's worthless, we understand it's worthless. It's been worthless since 1972 when we went off the gold standard, but nobody really knew. Now, as we get in, it's been worthless since 1972. It's worthless today. How it got along being worthless is just how corrupt all these officials are. I'll take $1 million and I'll build you a tank. I mean, what are you doing, man? You're taking 1 million pieces of paper. Why would you do that? So that's really the problem. But now you can get paid, go buy gold and silver. That's okay. But I'm warning you, gold and silver is drying up and the prices are going up. So you've got to be very careful what you can afford, but you have no choice. But you're going to need the gold and silver to buy the medium of exchange. That's the whole picture, right? So I have this really valuable stuff, gold and silver. The medium of exchange is broke, but I can't really go to the grocery store with a quarter ounce of gold. I don't know what the value is because it's not priced in gold and silver. And what are they going to price it in if it's not going to be dollars? So they'll have to have a new dollar. And then it won't last long if it's not backed by gold. And the only people with gold are China and Russia. China and Russia have the gold, and maybe India. Outside of that, So they're going to come out with the medium of exchange that is backed by gold. Everybody's going to run into that. That's why the U.S. is always scared. Oh no, don't come out with gold, because that'll shine the light that ours is just paper, and everybody is going to run to the gold and away from us. Well, now it's time. That's exactly what's doing, right? BRICS is coming out saying we want gold currency, and everybody's shining the light going, shit, we don't want to be in US dollars. So they're all running and de-dollarizing, they're calling it, getting out of the dollar and using their own currency. And then you'll hear these go, well, this is not work. There is no substitute for the dollar. Yeah, it's called gold. And that's exactly what the substitute is. And gold and silver. And so you get out of the dollar, go into gold and silver. They don't want to tell you that. They want to keep playing the game of this is worthless, but we're going to keep saying it has a value. I don't know if I'm a business, if I'm Target or Kroger's, I don't know what I do. I mean, I sit there and I get the money in. I think all my profits got to go to gold and silver. And this is what I warned my last company of. You gotta buy gold and silver, because this is going to zero. You're going to be stuck with nothing. Take your money you're making and buy gold with it. Oh no, Howard, you don't know what you're talking about. You're only an economist with the masters. Why would we listen to you? Don't listen to me. I can only warn you. I can lead the horse to water. I can't make him drink. So if you want to, then what are you going to do? You're not going to have, the paper is going to be gone. What are you going to barter with? Maybe your watch, jewelry will be first. Then you can start selling your stocks to get money. But what are you going to get? If this is no good, what are you going to barter with? See, that's the whole key is theoretically, we're going to sell our ounce of gold. God knows what the price will be for the new barter. And that's the new money will be the medium of exchange. So we're going to sell the gold for the medium of exchange. It won't be the medium of exchange. It's just going to be like a Rolex watch, or like it is now. It's going to be worth a lot of paper, but we don't want the paper. So that's why we keep buying more and more gold and silver. We don't want the paper. We need the medium of exchange, but we need to barter with. We got to get out of it before it loses its value, which it's already lost. So that, my friends, is that. We've talked baskets. Let's see what else. So that's economics 555, master's level. What else? Yeah, no poker. Let's see. So again, we've touched about the market. So keep in mind, like Nick went to play golf. So he's going to pay this much of the paper, and the golf course will take this. Now, if the golf course charges this much, you probably don't go, it's too expensive. You look for a golf course paying that. So you always got to be at the market whenever you're selling any of your good or service. And you just, price determines the market. You sell it at 30, see what happens. Sell it at 40, see what happens. Sell it at 100, see what happens. And then as long as you keep getting customers, then you can keep raising your price. Eventually you'll hit a price that's too high, and you won't be able to, your customers will say, see you later, like a $30 steak, or, like the ribs going up from $9.99 to $15. I don't buy them anymore. You went over market. Now, if they come back to 10 on sale, I'll buy a bunch, but at 15, maybe I'll buy a little because I got the new job, but that's it. And if they keep raising their price, this is a grocery store, a high-end grocery store. I don't shop at much, but sometimes if I need meat. And like their yellow peppers, it's like $1.25 at Meijer's, and they'll be like $3.99 there, and you're like, it's the same fucking thing. It's a yellow pepper. Anyway, so you tend not to buy most of the stuff there. What they're banking on is you come in for something like the meat, you're already there and you're going to buy the rest of the stuff because you're lazy. And it is nice to look at, but it's more expensive. But not a lot of people like me who use economics and say, fuck, I could buy more. I could buy 2 more ounces of silver if I get my yellow peppers at Meijer's instead of Joe's, for example. And that's kind of how I think. That's why I'm really not playing a lot of poker. Yeah, I could win a little bit, but I'm risking. And if I lose, that's silver I could have bought. So I'm just so instead of going to play poker on Saturdays, I go to the coin store and buy silver. Anyway, what else? So basketball, keep an eye, bet the losers back. So now we have New York and Philly and Golden State losers, but you got to be careful. Are they, can they win? Well, Golden State can. I feel comfortable with them. The Knicks in Miami, you think the Knicks can win, and then Boston, Philly, again, Boston killed them in Philly, so probably maybe there you get a little bit afraid of Boston. But again, the whole concept is betting the loser back. Backs against the wall, they need to win. Now, we do that in football a lot, but we also look at the, whoever's playing the Lions and we lock on them. So it's not always the loser back. Sometimes the team A is better than team B. We bet team A to win. So we can do that also. It was funny. I put a big bet on Kansas City to beat Indianapolis last year, and they lost. It was like the only game they lost for a long time, and it was the only game Indy won. They lost to fucking Houston and Tennessee. And you just think about it. How did KC lose that game? And how did Indy beat them? Just crazy. That just shows you when you're not up for the game and your back's not against the wall, you're not gonna win. So please be careful with the gold and silver. You need to buy it very soon. So as I said the last few days, I went to my guy. He had no gold and he didn't really have a lot of silver eagles. He had other countries, I think British and Canadian. And his silver, he did have some of the silver, and then he had the 10-ounce bars. But that's it. So he's, running low on the bullions. So keep that in mind. The biggest fear you have is that you can't buy it, so you can't barter it, right? You can't trade it into the new medium of exchange, or it's going to cost you too much, right? So I bought it at 30. All of a sudden it starts shooting up, and then it's a $50 an ounce. Now what do? You got to pay $50 an ounce. You're still going to buy it. Now you're going to panic, and then you're going to overpay because you could have bought it now. You know what's going to happen, right? There's 4 quarters in the game. We're in the first quarter. So there's going to be a second quarter and a third and a fourth. So that's happening. Silver's going up, and it's running out. So that's happening. So use that to your advantage. So buy it as much as you can, as soon as you can, at these prices before you can't get it or the prices start going up. And that's going to as you can see it now. Again, once silver spot hits 26.32, it goes to 35. Again, that's spot. That's not real. That's not the physical price, but we don't have that yet. So we got to get to the physical price, unfortunately. So that's coming very soon. Health-wise, you watch your sugars. I don't know what's going on. My feet keep getting me. I don't know if they're putting something in the sugar, if I'm older and my things aren't processing. I mean, I could eat an ice cream before and not have my foot hurt, and then I go get barbecue. It's the same thing I've done, but I need to fix what's wrong, and I'm only going to fix it by just getting on the diet I tell Bobby to do, which is basically just the veggies, the fruit, the meat, and that's it. And stop nibbling on ice cream and a piece of cake and a cookie. Since I've lost the weight, I'm more apt to, I can have that, but I can't. Apparently, I'm having too much of it. It's maybe once a week, but I'm eating it 2, 3 times a week. And that's where the psychology comes. Yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. I'm fairly thin. Okay, I can eat it, and boom, my foot blows up. So that's what I've got to fix. So I'm not going to eat that shit for a while. It's just going to be, and I eat a lot of veggies. Don't get me wrong. I'm eating salads and I make my omelets a lot, but I have been nibbling on sweets, apparently more than I should be. So apparently at my age, I can't, it's got to be once a month or something. And at least I got to go like 3 months and really clean my body, because apparently there's enough left in. I eat I need an Oreo, or I eat a piece of cake, or a thing of ice cream, and it's fucking killing me. So I got to get rid of that. Now on the trip, in all defense of that, the foot was fine. It was the back that was bothering me, and that's got nothing to do with the sugar. So my foot hasn't really been that bad this long, but this week it is. Like now, it's I don't know if I can go swim, because I don't know if I can walk from the car into the pool and then back to the car. That's extremely uncomfortable. So maybe I can walk to the car and then just go to the grocery store, because I need dinner, unless I'm going to have an omelet with veggies. And then I won't have anything for tomorrow, and I start work tomorrow. So I want to get the rotisserie chicken, so at least I can have something with protein and then eat that the next day. So what else? Any other questions, comments? Bobby's busy, I guess. Nick's on the golf course. So keep in mind, that's what's happening, is they're changing the medium of exchange, but they can't get rid of it. They have to have a medium of exchange. You cannot go barter system. It can't work. What do I pay for groceries? What do I pay for rent? What do I pay for my car payment? So you can't, if you get rid of this, you won't owe a penny on your credit card, because you won't have anything to pay it with. So you'll basically, but then you won't be able to use it, because nothing will have a price. I want to go fly to Europe. Well, how much is it? Don't know. So even though my credit card's available, I can't use it, because I don't know what it's going to cost for the flight. Then I get puzzled. I see United Airlines is the biggest airplane, and they're hiring like 20,000 people or something like that. I saw today. Was it 15? I'm thinking, like, somebody needs to explain this to me. Here you go. Woman paints her ceiling gold. I love it. Metallic ceiling, metallic gold, and it's a whole vibe. Yeah, okay. Probably not real gold, though. Okay, I don't understand this. Apple stock still enticing after earnings rally. Okay, well, do they not see what's going to happen? And it just boggles your mind that they don't. They're just going around like nothing's happening. Where's United? Well, I don't see it. Yeah, I can't see that article. Anyway, they're supposedly adding like 50,000. Well, let's say 15,000 employees. Now you're coming into a recession. The dollar is not going anywhere, but the companies are acting like nothing's happening. And I'm very confused by this. So you're adding all these people. Who's going to be flying? Because nobody's going to. If this goes away, what are you going to charge for your tickets? Your tickets are charged in this bullshit, right? Paper crap. So that leads me to believe they have new money coming out where they can then convert. So this will then go to the new medium of exchange at maybe 75 cents. You got $100, you get 75 of the new ones. And then the milk goes from $4 to $3 and the Cheerios, 75%. And then that would make sense. However, if it's not backed by gold, it's still paper, it's still worthless. So please keep an eye on what the new medium of exchange is going to be. And if it's not backed by gold, it's the same crap that we got now. So I love how they're playing it like, oh no, the dollar's fine. The dollar's not going anywhere. All these countries don't want it. It's inflation. At what point does it become valueless? Is when nobody wants it. So if people still think it has a value, again, it's like Madoff. If the Warren Buffetts think it has a value because they're the ones benefiting from it having a value, then that's what happens. But if the rest of us say it doesn't have a value, we don't want it, then he loses because then it goes to zero and his 2 billion turns to zero. So that's really what that's why the guys in charge don't want it to go away and they don't want gold because they're sitting on all this money that's worthless, but to them it's fine. And so they're sitting on this money that's all worthless, but it buys stuff for them. So they're like, shh, it's Madoff, right? That's really the scam. Then your money in the bank, it's all paper. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's a scam. So our whole money system's a scam because this is just worthless. And unless you have gold or silver, you're the ones who are waking up from being scammed, right? So everybody's being scammed. However, because you go to work and you make 100 grand and you get paid, you can pay your bills and you can eat, you go along with the scam because I can still, I still get paid and I can still do what I want. It's when you go to Europe and all of a sudden it's 366 for 300 euros or prices start going up. So since we import from China and the costs are going to go up, now we can be the market and say we're not going to pay, but they don't want the dollars. So they're going to charge more because the dollar has less value. And that's really the killer. So once they realize the dollar has less value and they don't want it or they need more to survive, once you realize people don't want it, it's the end. We are ahead of the curve. We don't want it now. We want as much in gold and silver as we can get, and the rest of it we pay our bills with, and we go to Spain with, and we take to use before it isn't there. But they will have to come out with a new medium of exchange. Okay. Let's talk about money substitute. Types of money. There's money and there's money substitute. Money is a commodity. Money, cows or grain. Two values, use and exchange. B, specie, gold or silver, actual currency, gold coins, deposit with the goldsmith as a money substitute. So the money is a commodity. So it was cows and grain was money. A money substitute is the checkbook. Names on the check, your name and the bank, money certificate, 100% backed by gold and silver. Fiduciary monies, acceptance of truth, word of honor, based on a witness. Checks always have two ways to know something: the observation and the faith. Believe or leap of faith and trust. And then the fiat money, let it be, let there be light was my saying. Fiat money produced by the government. And that's just an act of faith. It's worth something because the government says so. So do we actually believe their government? No. So that's really your money. I just happen to be open to that. Anyway, there has to be a medium of exchange. There has to be. Even in Rome, they didn't just stop at the gold and silver coins. They took all the gold and silver out of it, but what did they do? They kept the coins without gold and silver. So they still had the coins in Rome, right? They still had coins. They just didn't, they weren't gold and silver. And we all know what happened to Rome. So keep that in mind. We're going to get a new medium of exchange, and you're going to sell your gold and silver to buy the medium of exchange just only for expenses. So will your credit card switch to the new medium of exchange on a 1-to-1 or 1-to-half or 1-to-3/4 basis? Again, how will you pay your credit cards if there is no medium of exchange? So there's no way there'll be a barter. I mean, there's a barter now where we can go I can go to a card show, and there's a Mickey Mantle card, right? Our favorite. And I could theoretically, it sells for $2,000. I could give him an ounce of gold and he could give me the Mantle card. We could barter that way, which he probably would do, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to only get $2,000 for it. And that's why you need the card graded, because I don't know, but if the card says PSA 10, you damn well I'm giving them an ounce of gold for it, because I know it's worth a lot more than it shows. So that's kind of what you would barter. Otherwise, we're bartering this. We work for this. We barter this to get food, utilities, rent. That's the barter part, and this is worthless. So keep that in mind. You understand this has no value. It's only because people take it. It's like Madoff. Madoff's giving you 20%. Why? I don't know, but just shut up and keep getting the 20%. That's basically what happens. And that's eventually what happened to Madoff. Eventually what happened to all the other currencies they all went out. So eventually somebody catches on. They don't want it. Enough people don't want it. And then the Buffetts are going to cry because, I got 2 billion of them. I want it to stay as dollars. And sorry, Buffett, it's just fucking paper. You don't have shit. And so we'll see. But that's it. Baskets. I gave you the picks. Let's see. I like Golden State. I think they're on tonight. Football, we kind of went through colleges week one. Very exciting. And the pros. So we now got to collect all the draft and see who's where and what's what and what's the starting backfields and mostly like that. Who are the new coaches? And most of them suck anyway, so you got to figure out who's a good coach, except for Sean Payton. Him and Coach Pete, those are the best two out there. And anybody who thinks Belichick's a good coach is out of his mind. In what world is he a good coach? Yeah, without Brady. And then you have Andy Reid. If it wasn't for Mahomes, he'd be losing another 5 championships. What else? I think that's about it. So supposedly, I know I have a meeting at 8 a.m. Supposedly, I start work tomorrow at Harley in finance. So I'm not sure if I will do the show tomorrow based on if I'm working. Now, I don't have my computer. I might just meet with my boss on the phone for a half hour or an hour, probably a half hour. And then when you get your computer start, maybe I can bill them 8 hours. I don't know. But that's really all I can do. And we will see from there. So I'm not sure if I'll do a show tomorrow. Once I get the feel of it, then I can do a show at night. However, after working all day, I'll probably want to go to the pool and eat. So I'm again not sure what to do. Now I am working remotely. So as I told you guys, I could move to Vegas and work from there in an apartment or house there, or I could go to Florida or anywhere but California. Wouldn't want to move there. So I could move to a lot of different places, a lot of different cities, and just work from there. I don't have to go into the office. I don't have to. I get up and jump in the shower. I don't need to get in the car. I don't really need to get dressed up. Probably a polo shirt, and I don't need to drive home. So I save a good probably hour of half hour drive, half hour back. So that's going to be critical. So 8 hours is 8 hours now. If I work 8 to 4:30 with a half hour for lunch, I don't have to leave at 7:30, and I don't have to get home at 5. So I love it. It's great for me for football because I can start going. And really, once I'm into my job, when I was at Mercedes working remote, there was a lot of shit I didn't have to. It would take me 20 minutes to do, and I could sit back and relax for the last 2 hours. So my day would be over at 2:30, just unless I got an email or a Teams. I was like, I'm done. It's 2:30 and I'm done. And that was basically the key part. So we will see, but I don't know that well enough right now to do that. But I doubt I'll be 40 hours of work, but I can't, I'll be around for the 40, but especially in the beginning, it's all a learning curve. How is this different than Mercedes? And it's still SAP and Excel, which I know very, very well. So just a matter of getting their versions of everything. But anyway, that's about it. Oh, it's at 2:00. I honestly don't know if I can get to the gym. However, I do need to get to the grocery store. So I will probably do that and get some dinner. Now, again, I haven't eaten since Friday night at about 7:30. So I am, let's call it 7:30, 24 hours, 7:30 is 36, 5 and 7. So it's 43 hours. And I don't know what I'm just really trying to get my foot better. So I don't really have a time set. I just really wanted one day, but one day is 36 hours. By skipping yesterday and then you wake up today, it's 36. So I will see. But I'm getting pretty damn hungry. So I might just have an omelet or the rotisserie chicken and veggies sound real, real good. So if I can limp to the car, I will do that. Anyway, that's about it. Any other questions or comments, please feel free. www.teaserking.com. Please feel free to get my email there and email me. Otherwise, I'm waiting for my computer, I guess, tomorrow. So I'll let you know. Maybe I'll do a short show tomorrow night just to say what's going on. But figure me for sure on the weekends. And then once I know my schedule, month end, I might not be on as much. But then during the month, I might do, I don't know what I'm going to work because like tomorrow is 8:00 Eastern time or Central time, and I'm Eastern. So it's really 9:00 for me. So if they want me to start 8:00 Central, I could theoretically do a 7:30 in the morning class till 8:30 or something like that. So we will see. Anyway, I think that's about it. And have a good day, everybody. Good luck if you're betting the baskets and getting the gold. Please go. Don't wait. If you're not getting it, you can't stay in this medium of exchange. This medium of exchange is gone. That's what you need to understand. If I stay in the dollar because I'm scared or I don't want it, or I don't trust, or I don't this, or I don't that, you're fucked in the dollar. Now, you're not fucked today, but you're going to be fucked soon. And that's what you got to, that's what you got to realize. Maybe you have 3 months, but you don't want to start buying gold 3 months from now. And you can see gold and silver going up because of the fact that it's all, going. So realize Why? Why is gold and silver going up? Because the dollar is getting pissed on. All these countries getting out of BRICS. You got a fucking war going on. All that's very good for gold and silver normally. So keep that in mind. And the more they print for defense, the more they have to do FDIC banking to pay for bank runs, to pay for bail-ins, bailouts. The more they have to pay, that's more inflation. And this loses even more and more value. It'll be so small, all you're going to see is the one. That's what the dollar is going to go to. It's not worth anything, but you don't know it. You think it is, but it really doesn't buy you any. Well, now $5 buys you Oreos. Like, seriously? I mean, it's a 30-cent item. It's costing me $5 now. So keep that in mind. And they're suppressing gold and silver. So you don't like it. You don't think it's any good, but why are they suppressing it then? Because they don't want you in it. That means you need to go in it. So anyway, that's about it. Have a great day. Please feel good. If you're not feeling well, please do a fast. You can drink water, tea, coffee, no sugar, and no sugar substitute if you do it. It helps clear your body up, clean you up. The autography kicks in at 18 hours. So I got my little guy. He's on my foot. Like, fix my foot already, little guys. So that's why I'm doing it, so they can fix it. And I noticed this morning it's much better than yesterday, but I'm still not. It's still a little puffy. And so it's where it is. I can't really walk that well. So again, I want to go at least to the grocery store. I want to get out. I don't want to stay in the house, because I'll be in tomorrow working. So I really want to get out. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Good luck. And I hope you make some money. Buy your gold and silver, please. And I think that's it. All right. www.teaserking.com. Have a great day. Thank you.